Okay, ooh, what is Gucci Cotton Eaters? My name is Push. Oh, what's Gucci Cotton Eaters? My name is Push, aka the creative queer, the masculine, cotton eating queen. Guys, yet drip. And thank you so much for clicking on this here video and deciding to join me this week on this episode. This week, I want to talk about some of the struggles that I'm currently going through, some of the themes that are emerging. You know, when I journal or when I, take a walk and I kind of think about my life and I think about some of the things that I'm experiencing, going back into the dating world. So I thought, let me speak about some of those things and perhaps you'll be able to relate to me, knowing the fact that the dating streets or the queer dating streets are small. And just by virtue of them being small, I think we can share the same struggles, I hope. So you'll tell me in the comment section if you relate to this. Maybe there's something that I also left out that you want to share with me that you're struggling with when it comes to kind of getting back into the dating world, because the streets are cold. August Lamba, so they say. But anyway, let's roll the bumper. What's I mean? One thing that I am currently struggling with is vulnerability. Now, if you've heard anything from some of the videos that some of my utterances in my previous video or what I've said on defining love, is that I think I've discovered through therapy that I do struggle with vulnerability, and that goes back to childhood traumas and what I perceived the vulnerability to be as a child, and so as an adult I struggle with that a lot, and I've seen that I want vulnerability out of the next person, but it's difficult for me to be vulnerable. And also it's just like, damn, how many people am I gonna open up to? I think that's the struggle of dating, because you have to a certain degree, let somebody into your world and let them know, and that is kind of tough, because you are the next person. I'm gonna make them sign a non-disclosure agreement, because I can't be vulnerable now to so many people. I feel like at the same time, like so many people know my business now, But I think I expect a mutual respect from another person. Now, but they shared some things about themselves that I'm sure they wouldn't want me to be telling everybody else. So I will trust on that. I will depend on that unspoken mutual respect, that my business is not going to be out there. But I think finding the good balance of vulnerability and not sharing too much too soon, because sometimes it can get tricky. So just to pace myself in terms of how quickly I am being vulnerable with somebody is something that I'm kind of working through, and I'm making it up along the way. But kunzima, tell me if you relate in the comment section. I hope I'm not alone. It's struggle number 2 is being wary of love bombing. Now this one, I think it's a tough one. I think especially in the world of social media and wanting to show off the fact that now you are the chosen one and this is how your person is loving you. And also I think as human beings we all have that perhaps vain part of ourselves that wants to show the rest of the world that like if I'm being chosen kind of a thing, and just the feeling of just like being told that you're special and this is the effort and these are the lengths that I'm gonna go to make you happy kind of a thing, all kind of makes us very susceptible to love bombing. So I don't want you to think that in fact I think it's a lesson for me I don't want to think that it's such an external thing that you will know that you are being love bombed, but I think that as human beings we all have the propensity to be love bombed, especially again in the world of social media. Just generally just being like wary of the gestures that somebody is giving you, especially in the talking phase. Like I'm not expecting somebody that I'm in a talking phase with or that I'm casually dating to take me on a trip to Mauritius. Like we need to gradually build the trust and the romantic gestures need to kind of match up, because I'm going to be suspicious if you are going to be doing too much too soon. Ngathi uyandazi lawe yabo. It breeds a red flag. It smells like narcissism. I think in the past, the wool has been, thrown over my eyes when it comes to love bombing, because kumnandi, I won't lie, that feeling of just being spoiled out of the blue, like by somebody that you didn't, I don't want to say put an effort in, but like umntu oqala umazi, imnandi imali ongakhange uyispende, imnandi la attention, and we can get lost in the source of it, and it's a red flag, because the person is going to withdraw that, and so one of the struggles that one of the things that I'm kind of trying to be wary of is making sure that the pace that we are getting to know each other is a pace that I'm comfortable with, and I'm not being love bombed. The sharing of gifts or gestures is proportional to the stage that we are in. Nilumgeni, guys, love bombing is an actual thing. And it's one of the first signs of emotional abuse as well, or physical abuse eventually. So this is why I'm saying just be wary of somebody who shows you too much affection too soon. It doesn't have to be in monetary value. It could be in attention. Somebody can't be like inspired by you in the first week. Oh, I wrote this song. Like, calm down. You didn't write a song. Like, like that is definitely a red flag. So I want to be wary of that, especially again in the social media era. It's so easy to be like, oh, despoiled, manu soft poster, wako, and all of that stuff. So just have that at the back of your mind, push. And you viewers out there, have that at the back of your mind. Be wary of love bombing. The third thing that I'm currently struggling with is getting to know like the ugly parts of me, or I'm gonna call them maybe uncomfortable parts of me. I think through dating and getting to know other people, obviously certain triggers come up and traumas and all of that stuff. And sometimes I look back at my interactions with the people that I'm dating, or the people that I've talked to, etc. And I look back at my reaction or my approach to something, and I look back and I think, that was kind of insecure of me. Like, actually, they had a point here, or I could have acted a bit more secure. And then I go back to that interaction and I wonder, then I become like curious about, that interaction and why that made me feel insecure. And I cringe sometimes. I'm just like, oh my God, why? I just cringe because I feel like the push 2 weeks back was so insecure, and now that I've journaled and I've gotten clarity about whatever it is, I'm more clearer about it, and I see how it shows up, and I just look back and I'm like, oh my God, where was this clarity 2 weeks ago? So it's so uncomfortable working through that, those insecurities, and knowing that, even though I think of myself as somebody that's charming and that's confident and that's, push Abantwana, push corn eating queen. There are parts of me that are insecure, that show up in relationships, and that are triggered by certain interaction, and perhaps the other person didn't mean it that way, but I took it that way because this is such a romantic interaction. So I look back at some interactions and I'm just like, oh my God, make it stop. But I think it's part of big dating. It's part of I think the pleasure of dating is getting to know yourself through other people. So it's been very interesting in that sense. I'm struggling through those uncomfortable conversations with myself, because if I attract this, I gotta pep talk myself and be like, yay, wena, vuga maqandeni. This is not what you want, and have that discipline of saying, you know what, the opportunity is there, but I choose to do better. That's like growth. So it's been very uncomfortable to know those insecure parts of me, those parts that are just like not my best moments, but nonetheless we live and we learn and we forgive ourselves and we do better in the next interaction. Item number, I think 4 that I'm struggling with is dating politics. Oh, wow, I'm bored, whatever that girl says. And what I mean by dating politics is, I'm reminded that to the world I'm masculine presenting, even though sometimes when I explain myself, I'm like, I'm myself, and I feel the world obviously will read me as a masculine presenting person. And so because I'm operating in this pool that receives me as a masculine presenting person, to some degree there's an expectation that I have to perform masculinity. And not that to say that I feed into it. I think I'm at the age where I'm so comfortable with myself that I don't find myself in spaces where I feel like I have to perform my masculinity. I think I've outgrown that. But I think by virtue of just being who I am, I have to somewhat play in the pool and in the politics of the dating scene. Politically. Bodesha was a bodesha. I'm done. I'm through with it. Another thing that just came at the top of my head that I'm struggling with is the fear of rejection. And I think we can all relate to this. Kunzima, should I short? Kunzima uti. These are my intentions. Please pick me, choose me. It's hard. It's hard to put yourself out there. And I've come to realize through therapy that rejection is such a big childhood wound for me. And it makes me sometimes not choose and want to be chosen. But I've come to realize that now, as a human being, I have a choice in this dating world. Now I have an agency to choose and not to wait to be chosen. And I've been cocooning behind the fear of rejection and not choosing people because I'm scared of rejection. So I've come to push through that fear of rejection. Just shoot your shot, man. Just go with the fucking flow, dude. If bug heard that, then it's fine, And I think that's the empowering thing, I guess, is that when you shoot your shot, you state your case, you like them, you don't attach it to your esteem. And I know sometimes, and I've had this where you've been rejected, or I've been rejected, and I make it really about myself. But when I look back and I dissect the situation, I see how, okay, maybe it probably was not even going to work out because of A, B, and C. And because I know and I'm so clear now about those reasons, I don't feel, it doesn't become part of my esteem. Yes, my ego is bruised, and that lasts for maybe a day or two, and then I move on because I know I'm an attractive person. I'm going to attract other people, there are billions of people in the world. I'm going to attract somebody else. So I try not to stay too much in my feelings when I am rejected. I just keep it steady. I keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm done. I want the funny. It's fine. Ukona. Ozayo. That's all that I have to tell myself. But fear of rejection has been something that I'm really encouraging myself to push through, and see what happens on the other side of fear, man. All right, I think that's it. In terms of things that I'm struggling with, please tell me in the comment section what are some of the things that you are struggling with in the dating scene, in the dating world. Kunzima, I'm growing older, and I'm time to play is fucked up. Hey, time to play is fucked up. Asal manje. Asali. I've had my 20s, I've had my fun. But time to play now is fucked up. The lessons that I've learned, I'm sharing with you guys, and hopefully you guys can agree. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please tell me some of the struggles and some of the things that you're struggling with going back into the dating world. Must go in the comment section if you're goisa. Share some of the things that you're struggling with. Otherwise, I'm gonna see you in the next video next week. Thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna see you next time. Peace in the Middle East.